From the outside, Olivia Carter had the perfect life. She was the kind of student who never missed a deadline, always sat in the front row, and kept a strict schedule. She didn't party. She didn't get into trouble. And that's what made her so easy to notice. During her first week at Westwood University, Olivia settled into a routine. Small Blue Diamond morning runs at 6 a.m. Small Blue Diamond classes from 9 to 3. Small Blue Diamond library until 10 p.m. Same path. Same schedule. Every day. At first, she liked the predictability. It made her feel in control. Until one evening, something changed. She was in the campus coffee shop, studying alone, when she noticed something strange. A cup of coffee on her table. Exactly the way she ordered it, caramel latte, extra shot, oat milk. Except, she hadn't ordered it. There was no note. No one looking in her direction. She asked the barista. "Oh, your friend already paid for it," he said with a shrug. Olivia stared at the cup. She didn't have any friends here. Maybe it was just a mistake. Maybe the barista mixed up the orders. But the next day, it happened again. This time, at the library. Olivia sat in her usual spot, a small corner desk near the windows, when she noticed something off. Her notebook was open. She was sure she had closed it before stepping away. She flipped through the pages. And then she saw it. A note. Written in her own notebook. 6 words. "You always sit in the same spot." Her stomach dropped. She looked around, scanning the room. No one was watching her. Or at least, no one obvious. Olivia closed the notebook and packed her things. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe Julia, her roommate, was messing with her. But that night, she found another note. This time, inside her dorm room. "You make perfection look so easy." And that's when Olivia knew. This wasn't random. Someone was watching her. Olivia tried to stay calm. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe someone from her class had a weird sense of humor. But something felt wrong. The next morning, she started paying attention. She changed her route to class. Sat at a different table in the cafeteria. Used a random treadmill at the gym instead of her usual one by the window. And for 2 days, nothing happened. No notes. No surprises. She almost convinced herself she had imagined it. Until Friday night. Olivia had a late study session in the library. Julia had already texted that she'd be out with friends, so Olivia took her time. At 10:45 p.m., she walked back to her dorm. The hallway was empty. She unlocked the door, tossed her bag onto the chair, and reached for the light switch. But the moment she flipped it on, she froze. Because there was something new on her desk. A small box. Wrapped in brown paper. Her name written across the top. In her own handwriting. A perfect copy. Her hands shook as she reached for it. She peeled back the paper, lifted the lid. And inside, a single Polaroid. Of her. Taken that morning. At exactly 6 a.m. During her run. From behind. Olivia snapped her head up, her eyes darting around the room. She had locked the door. She was sure she had locked the door. But someone was here. When? How? Her fingers tightened around the Polaroid. Her breathing turned shallow. Someone had been close enough to take this photo. Close enough to touch her. Her skin prickled as she looked at the details. It wasn't just a photo of her running. It was a photo of her looking over her shoulder. Looking directly at them. But she didn't remember seeing anyone. Her stomach twisted. She grabbed the box, the wrapping paper, her whole body shaking, and rushed to her door. She checked the lock. It was fine. Nothing broken. She checked her keycard log. 9:17 p.m., access granted. She wasn't home at 9:17 p.m. Her stomach dropped. Was he still here? Her head snapped toward the closet. Closed. Her desk. No space to hide. Under the bed? She felt like she was going to be sick. Her fingers hovered over the edge of the blanket, heart hammering. If she looked, what if someone was there? She backed away slowly. She needed to leave. Now. Her phone was still on her desk. She took one step toward it. And then. A soft creak. Not from the closet. From inside the room. Right behind her. Olivia's pulse slammed in her ears. The creak. Right behind her. She didn't think. She ran. Her body moved on instinct, adrenaline drowning out every other thought. She grabbed the doorknob, locked. No. No, no, no. Her hands fumbled with the lock, her fingers trembling so badly she couldn't grip it. Behind her, another sound. A shift. Like someone shifting their weight. She forced herself to turn. The room was empty. At least, it looked empty. The closet. It was open. She hadn't opened it. A sliver of blackness, barely an inch wide. The door was moving. Slowly. Like someone inside was waiting for her to notice. Olivia's throat closed. She had to get out. Her foot slammed against the door, hands scrabbling at the lock. It finally turned. She threw herself into the hallway. Her breath came in ragged gasps. Doors lined the corridor, all closed. The hall was dead silent. She ran. Past Julia's empty room. Past the stairwell. Toward the exit at the end of the hall. Behind her. A door opened. She didn't look back. She didn't stop. She slammed into the emergency exit, the alarm blaring as she stumbled outside into the freezing night. She didn't know where she was going. She just knew she had to run. Olivia didn't stop running until she was off campus. Her lungs burned. Her legs ached. But she didn't dare slow down. She had no idea where she was going, just that she couldn't stay. Her dorm wasn't safe. She reached a 24-hour diner a few blocks from campus and stumbled inside, her hands still shaking. The place was nearly empty, just an old man at the counter, a tired waitress refilling coffee. She sank into a booth, her breath coming in ragged gasps. Her phone. She needed her phone. She reached into her hoodie pocket, empty. Her stomach dropped. She'd left it on the desk. Inside her dorm. Inside that room. She pressed her hands against her face, trying to calm the spiral of panic. What now? Campus security? The police? Would they even believe her? She had no proof. No fingerprints. No security footage. Just a photo. A note. And the creeping, gut-wrenching certainty that someone had been inches away from her in the dark. Her mind raced. If they had her keycard. Could they be tracking her? She sat up straight, glancing at the diner's windows. Outside, the street was mostly empty. A few cars, streetlights casting long shadows. And then. A figure. Standing beneath a flickering street lamp. Not moving. Not coming closer. Just watching. A cold weight settled in her stomach. She knew, without a doubt. It was him. Olivia couldn't stop shaking. Her phone was gone. Her dorm wasn't safe. And now, someone was watching her. She forced herself to breathe. Think. If she stayed here all night, would he wait? Would he follow her when she finally left? Her hands tightened into fists. She needed to do something. Now. She pushed out of the booth, heart hammering, and walked toward the diner counter. The waitress glanced up. "Hey," Sugar, you okay? Olivia hesitated. She wanted to say no. She wanted to tell someone. To ask for help. But what was she supposed to say? Hi, I think someone broke into my dorm, stole my key, left me creepy notes, and is now standing outside in the dark. No proof. No name. No threats. Just a feeling. A terrible, gut-wrenching feeling. Her mouth was dry. She swallowed. Can I use your phone? The waitress nodded and slid it across the counter. Olivia's fingers hovered over the buttons. Who should she call? Campus security? They'd probably tell her to go back to her dorm. The police? What would they even do? She took a deep breath. Dialed. 911, what's your emergency? Olivia exhaled sharply. And then, the diner door opened. A gust of cold air. Heavy boots on tile. She didn't turn around. Didn't need to. She could feel it. He was inside. Olivia's grip tightened on the phone. She didn't turn around. Didn't need to. The air inside the diner felt heavier. The voice on the phone crackled. 911, what's your emergency? She swallowed hard. Her pulse hammered in her ears. She couldn't speak. Not yet. Footsteps. Slow. Measured. Someone moved behind her. Not rushing. Not hiding. Just there. A chair scraped against the tile. She clenched her jaw, forced her voice steady. My name is Olivia Carter, she whispered. I think someone broke into my dorm room. I ran, but I think they followed me. The dispatcher's voice stayed calm. Are you in immediate danger? Her mouth was dry. She didn't dare look back. I don't know, she admitted. But I think my roommate is. A beat of silence. Then. Stay on the line. Officers are on their way. A weight lifted off her chest. Someone was coming. She wasn't alone in this. She exhaled sharply. And then, from behind her, a deep, quiet chuckle. Low. Almost amused. Her stomach plummeted. The chair scraped again. Then, footsteps. Walking away. The bell above the diner door jingled. Cold air rushed in. She turned just in time to see the dark figure step outside. Not running. Not hiding. Just, leaving. Her hands shook. The waitress was staring at her. What's going on, honey? Before Olivia could answer. Sirens. Flashing red and blue lights. A police car pulled up outside. 2 officers stepped inside. One of them scanned the room. The other approached the counter. Olivia Carter? She nodded, still unable to catch her breath. We need you to come with us. Her skin prickled. I told the dispatcher what happened, she stammered. The notes, my dorm, my roommate. The officer exchanged a look with his partner. We're already checking your dorm. His voice was firm. That's why we need you to come with us. Something in his tone chilled her. This wasn't just about her anymore. Something else had happened. Something worse. And she had a horrible, sinking feeling. She was about to find out exactly what. Olivia sat in the back of the police car, staring out the window as campus came into view. Her dorm. Flashing lights. Yellow tape. Something was very, very wrong. The officer in the front seat turned slightly. You said you left your dorm around 11? She nodded, throat dry. Yes. His gaze flicked to his partner. Her pulse spiked. Why does that matter? She pressed. The officer exhaled. Because, he said carefully, your dorm was locked when we got there. But. A pause. Your roommate never left. The words felt like ice water down her spine. Olivia's stomach clenched. No, that's not possible. Julia went to a party. I saw her texts. Neither officer responded. The cruiser rolled to a stop outside the dorm. A crowd of students stood in clusters behind the tape, whispering. Watching. The officers stepped out first. Olivia followed, her legs unsteady. They led her through the lobby, past the stairwell, to the familiar hallway. She stopped in front of her door. It was open. A crime scene tech was inside, dusting for prints. Another officer stood by the desk, taking photos. Her stomach turned. She stepped forward, then froze. There was something on her desk. A single note. 3 words. Too late, Olivia. Her breath caught in her throat. Where's Julia? She demanded, her voice hoarse. The officer didn't answer immediately. Instead, he gestured toward the closet. A second officer was standing there, his face unreadable. Olivia took a shaky step inside. And that's when she saw it. The closet door was open. Inside, Julia. Still. Unresponsive. The scene was quiet, eerie. Something wasn't right. Olivia staggered back. No. No, no, no. She had been here the whole time. The party. The texts. They were never from her. Julia never left. She had been in this room all night. Hidden. Waiting to be found. The officer's voice was distant. Miss Carter, he said gently. We need you to come with us. But Olivia couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Because the last message, the one on the note, wasn't a threat. It was a statement. She really was too late. Olivia sat in a small, sterile interview room at the police station. Her hands rested in her lap, cold, motionless, useless. She had been here for hours. Long enough for the fluorescent lights to feel like knives behind her eyes. Long enough for the weight in her stomach to settle into something heavier. Something permanent. Julia was gone. And Olivia had left her there. The detective sitting across from her flipped through a file. Finally, he spoke. You said Julia was at a party. Olivia's throat tightened. I thought she was. You said she texted you. She did. A long pause. Julia's phone was found in your room, he said, tapping the folder. She never sent those messages. Her chest constricted. Her voice cracked. I didn't know. He nodded, like he had expected that answer. And you're sure you didn't see anyone? No one suspicious, no one hanging around before all this started? The words made her stomach turn. She had seen someone. She had felt someone. She had run from someone. And yet, she didn't know who he was. Didn't know his name. Didn't know why he had done this. All she had were the notes. The texts. The knowledge that he had been right next to her, for God knows how long, and she had never even seen his face. Her fingers curled into fists. No, she whispered. The detective sighed. Close the file. Try to get some rest, Miss Carter, he said. You'll need to give another statement in the morning. He stood. Walked to the door. Paused. One last thing, he added. Campus security checked the footage outside your dorm. You know when you ran out, just before 11? Her mouth was dry. Yeah? He hesitated. The door never opened again after you left. Her blood ran cold. What? The detective nodded. No one went in. No one came out. Her ears rang. That wasn't possible. Someone had locked the door. Someone had left that note. Someone had been in that room with her. She opened her mouth to argue. And then she saw it. A movement. Not in the room. Not in front of her. Behind her. Through the glass window in the door. A figure. Standing just outside. Not coming in. Not moving. Just watching. Her pulse slammed against her ribs. The detective followed her gaze. But by the time he turned, the hallway was empty. The detective frowned, stepping out into the corridor. No one was there. Just an empty hallway. Silent. Still. But Olivia knew. She had seen him. She knew. This wasn't over. It had never been over. Her phone buzzed. A message appeared, "You were perfect." The screen went dark. Olivia had never felt more watched. The investigation into Julia's death remained open for weeks. But no arrests were made. No fingerprints. No DNA. No security footage of anyone entering or leaving the dorm after Olivia ran. It was like he had never been there at all. Like he had never existed. But Olivia knew the truth. She had seen him. And he had seen her. She transferred to a different university a month later. Changed her number. Deleted social media. Tried to disappear. But some nights, when she walked home alone, when she passed by windows and caught her reflection, she swore she saw someone behind her. Just out of view. Just close enough to make her wonder. Was it really over? Or was he still out there? Watching. Waiting. And if he was, who would be next?